Hey folks, thought we'd do a little video. I'll start off by saying I don't know what happened. Facebook and my YouTube channel got wiped out somehow. So we're not going to cry about it. We're just going to keep moving on. So today I'm going to take a virtual look at a 2009 Chevrolet Impala LS Fleet model. So this is a Fleet model car. And I put it up on the ramps so that we can get a look at the underbody, because here in Michigan, that's really the most important part of the vehicle. That's what gets rotted out by the salt. As you can see, the body is actually in really good shape. There's like no rust on this thing. And the typical spots, and a little bit on the bottom of the doors there, not a big deal. So this car's got a funky, weird little problem where, for some reason, the doors, they lock themselves when you put the car in gear, and when you put the car back in park and take the key out, it unlocks. Well, passenger door and this door don't always unlock. It's very strange. This interior is very nice. It's got a nice soft velour seat in it. And, you know, a little bit of rust inside of the doors, but honestly, not too bad. It's got blacked out emblems on it. I think the previous owner had gotten themselves in some kind of situation with house paint. There seems to be these white specks of house paint all over it. I've cleaned this car 2-3 times now and I can't get it to come off, so I'm just leaving it alone. Yep, it's got the blacked out emblems. It's an LS. It's got the flex fuel package in it. The 3.5 liter V6. Same on this side. Body's in very good shape. You know, it's a 15-year-old car. It's not completely rust-free, but you know, for its age, it's doing pretty good. See, this door here doesn't oh, come on now. Oop. There. All that just to unlock a door. That accidentally whapped the stairs. Well, didn't do any damage, so that's good. Same on this side. Interiors, this thing is in great shape. There's like no cracks. Everything's pretty shiny still. Like I said, it's just a basic Fleet model, so it doesn't have a whole lot of bells and whistles in it. Power windows, power locks. Blacked out GM emblems. Like I said, tires are in really good shape yet. And the headlight's a little fogged over, but it's not terrible. I've seen way worse. Yes, let's get a gander of the underbody. I do know that this car has 4 brand new struts on it. Somebody replaced the struts. Still has its full exhaust. So it's very dry under here, so it's not leaking any fluids. Floor pans are in amazing shape. There's the resonator. The exhaust is it's fully intact. Car runs very quiet. Even the rocker panels and the pinch moldings, I mean, they're a little crusty, but they're solid. He ain't a little piece there, but yeah, they're pretty solid. And let's get a gander back here. Car is in pretty good shape. The fuel lines and brake lines are still really clean under here. I gotta want to say this car is maybe a southern car, and it hasn't been in Michigan all that long, because it is remarkably rust-free. I mean, it has a little bit of rust here and there, but it's remarkably rust-free for a car that's been in Michigan for 15 years, and I just don't think that it's been. I don't think it's a Michigan car, folks, is what I'm trying to say. So, show you the amenities here. Of course, you got your power locks, power windows, power mirror. Has a power driver's seat, passenger's manual. There's all the typical Chevy GM stuff in here. Your cruise control buttons. Your automatic headlights, trunk button, traction control, dimmer switch. Info buttons up there. Your CD player has an aux port, and it does all that stuff where I think it's Sirius satellite compatible, but I'm not entirely sure. Has the OnStar, which I doubt works anymore. That's the speaker for it. And dual zone climate control. Air is very nice in this car. On these hot days, the air is nice. The air works, the heat works. It's not without its issues, but they're minor, very minor issues. In fact, some might say stupid issues, because most cars built before this era of vehicle wouldn't even have these problems, because they didn't exist. But I'll show you the engine real quick. So it's got the 3.5 liter V6 and the classic 4T 65E transmission, which is very common setup in these vehicles. I think it might need a new set of plugs and wires soon. They're just looking a little old to me. Oh. Well, that's something. Guess I forgot to put I replaced the cabin air filter in this car, and in my haste, I guess I forgot to put this rubber strip back on. But yeah, struts are newer in this vehicle. There we go. Not sure that we're going to be able to see them. Well, there's one of them. So, newer strut, not rusty. And they all look like that. They're all silver. I don't know what brand they are. Someone replaced them when before I got the vehicle. I've done my own work to it. I changed the oil, put new air filter, cabin air filter, and did the motor mounts, because these Impalas always seem to need motor mounts. So all 4 motor mounts are brand new. This one was a bit of a chore. It's a hydraulic motor mount, and the old one was crushed and the fluid had leaked all out of it. It's a bit of a chore to get to. These ones are easy. You just unbolt them. Trans mount over here, brand new, all done. Yeah, I think the car might need a tune-up for sure. But I mean, it runs good enough. Oh, I put a brand new serpentine belt on it as well. So So my neighbor's dog, he's really old and he wants in the house, and so he's now making, I guess that's barking, I'm not sure what it is, but yep, it's a brand new serpentine built on it. Old one was just looking a little worn out, so I took it off, but I put it in the trunk. It's going to go with the car as an extra serpentine belt, but car never overheats. It runs and drives well. Guess I'll let you guys hear it tick, and then we'll go for a little toot around my area. We'll take it off the ramps now that I've shown the underbody of the car. So there it is. So traction control light is on, ABS light, that's because of front wheel speed sensor on the front left here. I looked it up with my scanner. Seems to be a common problem with these. And the tail light flashes because whoever owned the car before I did didn't put the sensors back in the valve stems, so it can't read the tire pressure, so it's wigging out. Yeah, car's got 234,000 miles on it and climbing, because I do daily this car. But like I said, runs good. It's very quiet, very smooth. Everything in it seems to work. There, it's hard to get out of this thing with this fence in my way. Yep, there it is. No jiggles, no wiggles, just sit there and purrs like a kitten. Even the engine bay is really clean in this thing for what it is. Yeah. Alright, so close the hood and I'll take it for a little toot around the hood. So I'll be right back and we'll go for a little ride. Alright, we're back. You can see the car's just humming along here. We do got some systems I can show you. The top button and go through trip. That's how many miles I have on the oil. It's getting about 22 in town. I've not really taken this car on the highway much. And at 96% oil life. And then you see the tire pressure monitors don't read because the sensors are missing. And you know, has all your stuff that you can do. So this last button on the bottom is just a reset button. So radio works. So that's good. Dual zone climate control. I got it on air conditioning right now. Blows nice and cold. But let's go for a little ride. And yeah, so it just got higher miles, but This car's been very well maintained, so you wouldn't know it to drive it. It drives very nice. Like I said, I do think it might need spark plugs and wires. Reason I say that is because every once in a while it seems to have this little intermittent misfire, and it's very minor misfire, but you can feel it sometimes. I'm going to try to clean the mass airflow sensor, see if that does anything, just little things. But yeah, car runs and drives very well. Goes through all the gears real nice. I'm putting the camera low because we have 7 prisons in my town, and there's a lot of different flavor cops here. They're all too ready to nail you for having your phone up around here. But we'll run her through the gears a little bit, get her up to 60 on this back road here, because I think the speed limit's 55 or something. And show you how she goes. She's just she's a sweetheart. The color on this car is called Ink Slate Metallic. Brakes were great in this thing. Not even worried about those. Get her out here, dust the cobwebs off for a little bit, as they say. Just, once you get past this sign up here, it's like 55 is the speed limit. So I don't really drive my cars all that hard usually. I do like to get out on the expressway every once in a while and nail it a little bit, just to try to, get the carbon and everything out of it. It gets up to speed really quick. I mean, we're speeding now, so we gotta let her back it up. It's right up to speed, no problem. We can set the cruise control. There we go. Little icon pops up above the fuel gauge, and just cruise along. Handles well. I mean, as good as it can be for kind of a big, lumbering American car, but you're not gonna zip around corners like a Miata, but it's not gonna wean you off into the trees either. Doesn't have the body roll that my Grand Marquis has. That thing's a lumbery whale. But go ahead and stop here at this light, and then we're gonna go take it this way. Other weird thing this car does is every once in a while, when you turn that turn signal on for the right turn, the icon for the brights pop on for some reason. As soon as you make your turn, it goes away. And the brights do work. Everything works correctly in this car, but very odd. The only other thing I can think of that this car might need, and maybe not right away, but the little washer pump that cleans the windows off of the wipers, it stopped working. So tank's full of washer fluid, but the little pump don't work. It's a cheap part. I think it's like a $20 part. Probably even get it at a junkyard even cheaper if you wanted to go that route. So I may fix that, I may not. Depends on how fast someone comes and gets this thing from me. But yeah, I was going to fix this car completely up and just drive it, but I found something that I really want, so I guess I'm going to try to sell it and try to go get the vehicle that I really want. However, see that vehicle on the channel as well if I'm able to obtain it. But yeah, it got right up to 60 plus miles an hour. Like, it wasn't even barely put any pressure on the pedal in it. This thing's actually, for a little V6, it's pretty quick. They only make about 211 horsepower. And, I mean, in retrospect, that's not very much, but moves this car along pretty well. So, but yeah, I think a good tune-up, fix that washer pump, and, you know, fixed a little ABS light and the traction, or the tire light, I suppose, if you care about that sort of thing. It doesn't really bother me. So like I said before, I grew up in an era where cars didn't even have those features, so to me it's almost like a money grab from the dealerships and the manufacturers, because, oh, it's a safety feature. Well, who cares? Honestly, if the car runs, drives, and stops really well, then whoopity-doo about the electronic stuff, you know? The cars are supposed to be transportation, not, whiz-bang computer boxes that, pour your coffee, rub your back, and heat your buns. It's kind of silly. Anyway, that's enough of my rant. Yeah, it's a nice little jaunt, and hopefully somebody's interested in this vehicle. It's a really good car. I'm going to price it as cheap as possible. The blue book on this car is insane. I can't even believe they're getting that for it. I bought the car at a car dealership. I don't think I overpaid, but they weren't very forthcoming with the motor mount issues or anything like that, which just goes to tell you that they don't check these cars out when they get them from the auctions. They just throw them on the lot and throw a price tag on them. But I digress again. So that's that. Thanks for watching the virtual tour and test drive of the 2009 Ink Slate Metallic Chevrolet Impala LS Fleet package. But, yeah, that's basically it. It's a good rig. Needs a new home. And, yeah, it's a good car. This car here is actually sold. But, if I'm able, I will do a video on it before it gets sold. But yeah, that's this 2009 Chevy Impala. And everybody, thanks for watching. And we're going to move on from whatever happened with the YouTube and the Facebook, but, whatever. Have a good day. Bye.